Twins?
Nah, we cousins.
Man, what a banger, boy. What's going on, everybody? It's Kata, aka Khalil Too Short, and today this won't be a review in the traditional sense, but more of an appreciation for an original black film that is based in race and segregation, but doesn't beat you over the head with
the message.
I enjoyed every second of this. This is by far Ryan Coogler's best film to date, and leagues above that garbage bin of a film that's Black Panther emotional manipulation. I mean Black Panther DJ Turntable to open a shield generator. I mean Black Panther where they defeat the Spanish villain by drying off his wet back.
That's gotta be racist. There's no way. I'm gonna just keep it real. There's no way that is like of our culture.
Yeah, that film was a mess, but this one is so much better. But before we go too deep into the video, make sure that you do 3 things for me. Like the video, share the video, subscribe if you want to. And if you don't do all 3 of those things, then I'm slowly going to walk to your front door and ask you to let me in.
Let me in. Let me in.
Now let's get into it. Spoilers, by the way, so don't say that I didn't warn you. Of course, we're talking about Sinners. It just came out over the weekend. There's a lot of hype and a lot of things going on, and we need to talk about a little bit of it. So if you don't want to be spoiled, thank you for being here as long as you did, but here go the spoilers. Sinners is one of those films that you just can't stop thinking about as you walk out of the theater to your car until you get to the next viewing because you just can't stop thinking. You want to watch it again, and then the process starts all over again. It's one of those true gems that when you walk out, you know you just watched something special. It reminds me a lot of the first time I watched Lord of the Rings. Edge of Tomorrow is a very good example because that was an original movie as well. Both of the Dune movies, especially Dune 2, I saw that on a repeat. And Godzilla -1. It's a special kind of movie that's going to stand the test of time, I'm pretty sure. Ryan Coogler did his thing on this. I'm so glad he's free from the shackles of the MCU and is able to do something original and unique like this. And we can't skip on Michael B. Jordan either. He did his best acting in this film to date. Michael B. Jordan has always been a say it so kind of actor, but in this one, you could tell he put his heart into it. The fact that he was able to have 2 different characters and make them both distinct and unique throughout the entire film says a lot about his acting range. And just in case you didn't know which one was which, they put it in color codes for you. One is blue and one is red. Speaking of them, let's talk about them a little bit. This is the classic example of the twin dynamic. You have the reserved and then you have the cocky one. Smoke is the more reserved twin that's more about money and business, and for some reason is always trying to shoot somebody. Like seriously, I mean throughout the entire film he was just trying to up the pole on niggas. Like I swear he had that itchy trigger finger. But deep down he's dealing with a lot of sadness in his life with his ex-wife and his child that didn't survive long, which goes into a little bit of his story into the film. And then we have his twin brother Stack, who's more outgoing and more sociable and willing to hear people out. He's more about the party than Smoke is, and is always in the mix of something. He also has a relationship with a character that's in this film, Mary, played by Haley Steinfeld, who we're gonna talk about later. Boy, we gonna talk about her. But we have to get to the focal point of this entire film, which is Sammy. Aside from the fact that he could sing his ass off, I really was convinced that this dude was scared of what was actually happening in the film. But he's the preacher's kid who's established as a really good blues player. Seeing as this is a fantastical kind of movie, the thing with him is he plays the blues so well that he's able to pierce the veil of the spirit world to bring back ancestors from the past and the future. I kid you not, there is a scene in this film that is a one-shot of him when he starts playing the blues, and it goes around the entire club that they are in. And I'm not joking when I say this, it was the best scene in the movie. I almost started levitating in my seat because it was so well done. I'm gonna put this picture right here, and if you've ever seen this picture at your mama's house or at your auntie's house or like at a barber shop or something, then you know exactly how it looked in there. It was amazing. And for more clarification, I actually found somebody on Twitter who painted the scene, so I will be buying a print because this looks pretty awesome. But let's talk about Smoke's ex-wife, Annie, who is a hoodoo witch, not voodoo witch. Those are two completely different things. But shout out to Ryan Coogler, by the way, for putting a full-figure black woman as the love interest and not a mother figure. I know we don't really see that a lot, so it was different to see, but man, actually, she is really beautiful. In the MCU, y'all must burn in hell for what you did to her. Y'all made her look like a lunch lady in the Loki TV show and Deadpool and Wolverine. Her black skin shines really nice on the camera, so y'all did her no favors in those movies. But Ryan Coogler, you did your thing, man. Oh, we also can't forget about them calcium cannons that girl got, you know what I'm saying?
Why you pouring me? I'm right.
They also have a bunch of other cast of characters that come into this film. They don't really get too much characterization, but they're important nonetheless. Slim, he's an old head musician played by Delroy Lindo, who always knocks it out of the park. He's more of a comic relief character. We don't get too much into him, besides that vividly described lynching scene about one of his friends who was a musician, but he works out just fine. Speaking of fine, when we get introduced to his character, that's when we get introduced to Haley Steinfeld's character, Mary, who was the love interest of Stack with her sexy ass. And I'm telling you, the things that she gets into in this film, Josh Allen, you are a stronger man than me, because I know they are roasting the hell out of you on Twitter, out there in the group chat, and everywhere else, because my God, she was getting down and dirty, boy. We also get introduced to the love interest for Sammy, who was Perline with her fine ass. Not much of a character besides the fact that she can sing, and she's married, cheating on her husband with Sammy, so I guess she got what she deserved in this film. But hey, she was a fine character as well. But yeah, this movie gets really freak nasty, bro. I mean, seriously, he had Haley Steinfeld spitting in Michael B. Jordan's mouth, and he had Sammy over there tongue punching the clam after Perline just got done walking 5 miles. Ryan Coogler, man, I know what you are, boy.
You some freaky ass nigga.
Hey, but me too. We in the same boat, so it's all good. Cornbread is another character that we don't get too much on either. He's the bodyguard for the Juke Jam, and he doesn't do a lot. He does a lot of comedic effects, and he is also one of the first ones to go down. But again, you don't really need a lot with a lot of these characters. They just need to fit in the positions that they're in. Like Grace and Bo, they're the two Asian characters that go and help. We don't know a lot about them either, besides the fact that they have a daughter, and they know the Smokestack twins from back in the day. The way that Ryan Coogler is able to do a lot with these characters, with what little we know about them, this speaks volumes to how good he placed them in this film. Like the villain Remick, he doesn't show up until over halfway through the movie, and his presence is felt immediately. We don't spend too much time with him either beforehand, and we don't really get too much of his motivations until about the end of the film, but it works so well. And don't even get me started on that Irish jig part. Boy, I almost got up in the theater myself.
Well, in the merry month of May, from me home I started, left the girls of Tuam were nearly broken-hearted. Salute.
All of these characters, whether they are fleshed out or not, have something different for the story and fit into the story perfectly. And you want to know the great part? You want to know the best part about every single one of these characters? They're all obviously of different skin colors and backgrounds, but the film doesn't harbor on that fact at all, actually, besides like the first encounters. And even then, when they're talking about the racism, the lynching, the KKK, and all those things, it never comes off heavy-handed, and it never comes off pandery or like they're trying to avert you. It doesn't hit you over the head with the message. The film just lets things play out. And Ryan Coogler, I love the fact that you did that. Like, yes, they're in the time period of Jim Crow. Yes, they're in the South. Yes, there is segregation, but they never go with the woe is me, I'm black, the entire world is against me because of that fact. One of my favorite moments of the film, it's a very small thing that he did, but I absolutely loved it. He showcased the segregation of the stores from one side of the street from the other. Grace's daughter has to walk across to go get her. So as she's walking from the black side over to the white side, and then Grace comes from the white side over to the black side. And if this was a lesser filmmaker, they would have emphasized the fact that these stores were segregated and these were two different parts of the world. But Ryan Coogler just lets that shit rock. He doesn't say anything. You just see it in the background, and it's a part of the atmosphere. And I love that, man. I love it when you don't get heavy-handed with your messaging and just let the story tell itself. Just let it do what it needs to do. I picked up on that fact. Other people picked picked up on it, and you didn't have to go heavy-handed with, look, segregation, segregation, look at it, they're segregated. We need more black entertainment like that. You don't gotta be heavy-handed with your message. Even when he had the scene discussing the lynching of Slim's friend who was a musician because he got illegally arrested, it wasn't even more so about the skin color and things that happened in that time frame. It was more about the fact that they were wandering musicians and they were black in that time period, and that's what just happened to happen to them because the musician was too popular. That scene didn't even come off as forced or heavy-handed because it made sense in the context of the story that they were telling. The characters feel what Slim is saying. The characters see what he's going through, and then they move on from it. The film doesn't go, yep, well, lynching, that's bad. Yep, you guys are racist, that's bad, and all that. No, they just let it rock, and that's how you're supposed to tell these kind of stories. I could be wrong about my interpretation of that, by the way, but I don't think I was. It's a great way to tell your story about these sensitive topics without being pandery or virtuous about the things you're talking about. I love it when you have a black film or show or game or anything and the story doesn't specifically revolve around their race. Like, yes, all of these characters that are main are black, but that's not just their character. And all the things we've gotten in media for the past 10 plus years, or hell, even longer, every time you have a black character, they are black. That's their default. They don't have any other character other than they are black, and that is annoying. Movies like Nope by Jordan Peele, it's just a horror alien film that just happens to have main characters that are black. They never harbor on the fact that they're black, they just do their thing. Another one of my favorites, The Harder They Fall, is just a cowboy revenge thriller that happens to have an all-black cast, and they never ever mention that. We need more films like that. Like, when will we get a space movie with a bunch of space pirates or starfighters and things like that, and they just happen to be black and they're just doing things? Ryan Coogler can help spearhead the next 70s renaissance of black entertainment in Hollywood, and you don't even have to get pandery or all that other stuff with it. Just tell your stories and just have them happen to be black. Just don't make a sequel to this film or a prequel. Even though I love the lore that you made for the Smokestack twins, we don't need to see anything else. And with the post-credit scene, we don't need to see nothing with that either. Sometimes one and done is good enough. We don't need Ryan Coogler to start making a supernatural nigga Avengers or something like that.
Who are these niggas?
All in all, I recommend this film heavily, and I hope Hollywood doesn't take the wrong lesson from this. Just throwing black on something doesn't work unless the story and the narrative fix and you don't get pandery and virtuous with your message. Because we don't want to be pandered or preached at. We just want something cool that happens to star black characters and actors and stories. I mean, if this film is doing well, but Captain Clarence absolutely flopped, then that should tell you the difference in between product and execution. One is an original story with a cool premise, great actors, good atmosphere, a tremendous score by Ludwig, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his name, and all other things. It fires on all cylinders. And the other one was a pseudo race swap with bad CGI and a story so stupid not even a 6-year-old will reenact them with Legos. I just know Kevin Feige is kicking himself right now because he didn't have him make the Blade movie. And I hope Hollywood understands that they should be stuck in the $60 to $90 million budget for these films, because you can do a lot with just a little. I mean, just look at the visuals from Sinners compared to Captain Blackman. It's night and day. No pun intended, by the way. I'm pretty sure they're gonna learn from this lesson and not do the same thing they've been doing for the last 10 to 15 years, going all in on, hey, let's do more race bait films that cost upwards to $200 million. And then when they don't succeed at the box office, we're gonna call the audience racist for it. Surely that's what's gonna happen, right? Wrong! But did you like Sinners? Did you think it was overhyped? Or did it live up to your expectations? Or are you one of those weirdos that can't appreciate film and think this is a hot mess and that ripped off a completely different style of movie and are complaining about it on TikTok because you weren't represented enough in this mostly black film? Yeah, I'm talking to you. You know who you are. Put it down below and I'll decide if I'll let you in the comments or not.
Now, we is one people, and we shouldn't go in barging into other folks' places uninvited, so...
But hey guys, if you got any value out of this, entertainment, insight, or any of the like, make sure that you do those 3 things that I told you to do at the beginning of the video. I'll see you on the next one. Y'all be easy, man.